Hello, and welcome to Great Sleep. Get ready to listen and relax. Today I'm going to tell you a wonderful story about a Christmas miracle that happened in a small winter town. The town of Evergreen was known far and wide for its love of Christmas. From the moment the first snowflake fell, the entire town would come alive with twinkling lights, colorful decorations, and the sound of carols filling the air. The townspeople were a tight-knit community, always ready to lend a helping hand or share a warm smile. In the heart of Evergreen lived a young girl named Emily Thompson. At 10 years old, she was filled with an infectious enthusiasm for the holiday season. Every year, Emily eagerly awaited the day when her family would transform their quaint house into a winter wonderland. They would spend hours carefully placing ornaments on the tree, hanging garlands along the staircase, and adorning every inch of their home with lights. But it wasn't just Emily's house that sparkled with Christmas cheer. The entire town seemed to come alive with festive decorations. The streets were lined with twinkling lights, and storefronts displayed extravagant window displays. The town square was transformed into a magical scene, complete with an ice rink, a towering Christmas tree, and a stage for holiday performances. Emily loved walking through the town, taking in the sights and sounds of Christmas. She would often stop by Mrs. Jenkins' bakery to pick up a gingerbread cookie or visit Mr. Johnson's toy store to admire the beautifully wrapped presents. Everywhere she went, she could feel the excitement building in her heart. One chilly evening, as Emily was helping her mother set the table for dinner, she overheard her parents talking in hushed tones. Curiosity getting the better of her, she leaned in closer to listen. "I can't believe they're canceling the Christmas event," her father sighed. "I know," her mother replied sadly. "They just couldn't secure enough funds this year." Emily's heart sank. The Christmas event was the highlight of the holiday season in Evergreen. It brought the entire community together, and everyone looked forward to it with great anticipation. The thought of it being canceled was devastating. Emily couldn't help but feel a sense of sadness wash over her as she listened to her parents discuss the cancellation of the Christmas event. It had always been a cherished tradition in Evergreen, and the thought of not having it this year was disheartening. After dinner, Emily sat alone in her room, pondering the news. She knew she couldn't just sit back and do nothing. She had to find a way to save the Christmas event. But how? She was just a 10-year-old girl, after all. Determined to make a difference, Emily decided to share her concerns with her best friend, Sarah. The next day at school, during recess, she pulled Sarah aside and whispered her plan. "I want to organize a fundraising event to save the Christmas event Emily said earnestly. Sarah's eyes widened with excitement. That's a brilliant idea, Emily. But how are we going to do it? Emily smiled, feeling a glimmer of hope. We'll start by talking to our classmates and teachers. Maybe they can help us come up with ideas or even volunteer their time. Sarah nodded eagerly. Count me in, Emily. We'll make sure Christmas in Evergreen is saved. With renewed determination, Emily and Sarah spent the rest of recess brainstorming ideas and making plans. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but they were determined to make it happen. Armed with her plan, Emily set out to gather support from the community. She visited local businesses, explaining her cause and asking for their sponsorship. To her surprise, many of them were eager to help. The bakery donated trays of cookies, the toy store offered discounts on toys, and the local bookstore agreed to host a book fair. Emily also approached her classmates and teachers at school. She explained her plan during morning assembly and asked for their assistance. To her delight, they all agreed to volunteer their time and talents for the fundraising event. Some offered to perform holiday songs, while others offered to run game booths or bake goods for sale. Word quickly spread throughout Evergreen about Emily's efforts, and soon, the community started coming forward with donations and offers of support. Families donated and used decorations, local artists offered their services for free, and even the mayor pledged to match any funds raised. Emily was overwhelmed by the outpouring of support. It seemed that everyone in Evergreen shared her love for Christmas and was willing to do whatever it took to save the Christmas event. As the days went by, Emily and Sarah worked tirelessly to gather support for their fundraising event. They spent their afternoons going door to door, explaining their cause and asking for donations. The community responded with open hearts, eager to help make Christmas in Evergreen a reality. One afternoon, as Emily and Sarah were going from house to house, they came across Mr. Johnson's toy store. The store was filled with excited children, eagerly picking out their favorite toys. Emily hesitated for a moment before entering the store. She knew Mr. Johnson had already offered his support, but she wondered if there was anything more he could do. Taking a deep breath, Emily walked up to Mr. Johnson, who was busy restocking the shelves. "Excuse me, Mr. Johnson," Emily said politely. "I wanted to thank you again for your support. But I was wondering if there's anything else you could do to help us save the Christmas event." Mr. Johnson looked up from his work, a warm smile spreading across his face. "Emily, you and Sarah have already done so much for this community. I'm proud to support your cause. But you know what? I think I have an idea that might help." Curiosity piqued. Emily leaned in closer, eager to hear Mr. Johnson's idea. "I have some extra toys in the back," Mr. Johnson began. "How about we organize a toy drive? We can encourage people to donate toys, and we'll sell them at the fundraising event. The proceeds can go towards saving the Christmas event." Emily's eyes lit up with excitement. "That's a fantastic idea, Mr. Johnson. Thank you so much." With a renewed sense of purpose, Emily and Sarah continued their efforts to gather support for the fundraising event. They were filled with hope and determination, knowing that together they could make a difference. As the days went by, Emily faced numerous obstacles in her quest to save the Christmas event. The weather turned unexpectedly stormy, making it difficult to set up outdoor stalls and decorations. But Emily refused to let the rain dampen her spirits. She rallied her friends and family, and they found creative solutions to keep the event going. When a shortage of volunteers threatened to derail their plans, Emily organized a meeting with the community members and explained the importance of their efforts. Inspired by her passion and determination, more people stepped forward to lend a hand. One evening, as Emily and Sarah were finalizing the details for the fundraising event, they received a phone call from Mrs. Jenkins, the owner of the bakery. "Girls, I'm afraid I won't be able to donate as many trays of cookies as I had initially promised," Mrs. Jenkins said sadly. "My oven broke down, and I won't be able to fix it in time." Emily's heart sank. The cookies were an essential part of the fundraising event, and she couldn't imagine it without Mrs. Jenkins' delicious treats. But Emily was not one to give up easily. She thought for a moment before responding. "Mrs. Jenkins, is there any way we can help you fix your oven? We could ask the community for donations or see if anyone has the skills to repair it." There was a brief pause on the other end of the line before Mrs. Jenkins spoke again, her voice filled with gratitude. "Emily, that's a wonderful idea. Let me see if I can find someone who can help. I'll get back to you as soon as possible." Emily hung up the phone, feeling a renewed sense of hope. She knew that if they could find a way to fix Mrs. Jenkins' oven, they would be one step closer to saving the Christmas event. Days turned into weeks, and the fundraising event grew closer. Emily and Sarah worked tirelessly, ensuring that every detail was taken care of. The community rallied together, offering their support and encouragement. Finally, the day of the fundraising event arrived. The town was abuzz with excitement as people gathered in the town square. The air was filled with the aroma of freshly baked goods, laughter, and anticipation. Emily couldn't believe her eyes as she looked around. The event was even more magnificent than she had imagined. The ice rink shimmered under the glow of twinkling lights. Children laughed and played games, and families strolled through stalls filled with handmade crafts and delicious treats. As the day progressed, more and more people flocked to the event. The community had come together in a way that Emily had never seen before. The funds raised surpassed everyone's expectations, not only saving the Christmas event but also providing additional support for those in need during the holiday season. As the sun began to set, the town square transformed into a magical scene. The Christmas tree sparkled with lights, and carolers took their places on the stage. People gathered around, their faces glowing with joy and anticipation. Emily stood at the center of it all, overwhelmed by the love and support she had received from her community. She realized that her efforts had brought people closer together, fostering a sense of unity and joy that extended far beyond the holiday season. The sound of carols filled the air as the community joined in singing. Laughter and smiles were abundant as families skated on the ice rink and children ran from booth to booth, enjoying the festivities. In the days that followed, Emily took some time to reflect on the impact her actions had on the town and its people. She realized that even as a young girl, she could make a difference in her community. Her determination and hard work had not only saved the Christmas event, but had also brought hope and joy to those who needed it most. Emily learned valuable lessons about compassion and the true meaning of Christmas. It wasn't just about receiving gifts or enjoying festive decorations. It was about coming together as a community, supporting one another, and spreading love and kindness. The townspeople couldn't express enough gratitude to Emily for her unwavering determination and hard work. They shared stories of how the Christmas event had brought joy and hope to their lives, and how grateful they were for her efforts. Emily felt overwhelmed with love and appreciation from her community. She realized that her actions had touched the hearts of many, and she couldn't help but feel a sense of fulfillment and happiness. To honor Emily and thank her for her extraordinary efforts, the town organized a special celebration in her honor. The event took place in the town square, which had been transformed into a winter wonderland once again. People from all walks of life gathered to express their gratitude. There were speeches from community leaders, heartfelt performances from local artists, and even a surprise appearance by Santa Claus himself. The entire town came together to celebrate Emily's achievements and the spirit of Christmas. Inspired by Emily's success, the town decided to make the fundraising event an annual tradition. They formed a committee dedicated to ensuring the event continued to bring joy and support to the community. Emily was appointed as the honorary chairperson, a role she embraced with pride and gratitude. Year after year, the fundraising event grew bigger and better. The community's love for Christmas and their willingness to support one another only deepened. The event became a symbol of unity and generosity, reminding everyone of the power of community and acts of kindness. As Christmas approached once again, Emily couldn't help but feel a sense of fulfillment and happiness. The town was once again adorned with twinkling lights, and the sound of carols filled the air. But this time, there was something different in the atmosphere. Emily knew that her actions had made a lasting impact on her town and its people. She had witnessed firsthand the power of coming together, supporting one another, and spreading love and joy. Surrounded by her loved ones, Emily basked in the warmth of the holiday season, knowing that she had truly made a difference. And as she looked out at the festive town of Evergreen, she couldn't help but smile. For in that moment, she understood that the true magic of Christmas lies not just in the decorations or presents, but in the hearts of those who come together to create a community filled with love and compassion.